Good morning, everybody. Welcome into the PM and the AM show. Pat, Mike, in the mornings, we got you covered here. And all I got to say is, damn it, damn it, damn it. And I feel for the whole Delaware Valley that we thought we could steal another one. You know, I can speak for me, Mike, Al here, that, we were, even though we were down 3-0 early, that we felt like we could bounce back and have another magical run, but that was not the case last night. You got your MVP going 0 for 4 yesterday. You had a bunch of guys just getting hits here and there, leaving guys in scoring position. This was, and I hate to bring this up, this was Joe Girardi baseball yesterday. And granted, I gotta give, what's his name? The starting pitcher for the Astros. I don't know why I'm tongue tied this morning, but I gotta give him credit because Valdez. Thank you, Al. He put up 9 Ks yesterday, mowed this Phillies offense down. But however, the case is our starting pitchers look very, very shaky. Aaron Nola looked pretty bad the other night. Zach Wheeler was pretty bad last night. It was just not the best baseball we've seen from these guys. Zach Wheeler giving up 3 doubles back to back to back. Not a great start that we wanted. So, Mike, I'm going to bounce it right to you as always. What did you see from yesterday's game?
Good morning, Pat.
Good morning, Nipples.
What I saw last night was Zach Wheeler, even with the extra day rest. You could definitely see that he was leaving his ball. There was no movement with his fastball yesterday, so it was kind of a flat fastball that was being thrown in there. You got to remember too, the Astros are a good team too, dude. Like they're going to hit the ball, and they did. They hit the ball, and as far as Valdez goes, like he wasn't dominant. Like you stop right there.
9 Ks.
So what? He had 9 Ks. The Phillies swung at 6 of them and made them look good. 6 of those Ks were them swinging at bad pitches. Gene Segura last night had probably.
Good morning, Linda. How are you doing, sweetheart? What's up?
What's up, Lynn?
I like how he did.
He cuts me off.
Sorry.
He reminds me of my wife. Do you ever have your wife yell at you and then like answer the phone? Hello.
Yes.
Like it just like dropped. Like wait, who was that?
So anyway, like I said, like I was trying to say before I was rudely interrupted.
Right.
You got to give it the Astros. Like the Astros played a better game last night. I mean, they hit the ball. It's not like the Phillies didn't have their opportunities. Me and Al were talking about this before you come squandering in the door here.
Mm-hmm.
But the Phillies were like, 3 for 15 with runners in scoring position? Stop and think about it for a second. Half of those guys crossed the plate. Dude, the Phillies went in a rout. Like, the Phillies had their opportunities last night.
Yes.
But here's the thing. They made that dude look like Cy Young. It wasn't like the Phillies were chasing bad pitches.
I agree. Aggressive at the plate, swinging at anything that came over there. I mean, again, this was Nick Castellanos. Like, I'm not.
He's been so hot and cold in this series.
He'll swing at anything.
Listen, I don't think you have to be a stud pitcher to get Nick Castellanos out.
No,
just he will chase. Like I go back to game 1, which we could have won probably in 9 innings versus the extra innings, and probably wouldn't need all the heroics that we did. We had bases loaded.
And he swung at 4
Nick
pitches.
versus Neris, and Hector Neris wasn't. I don't think he threw 1 strike.
No, not one.
Not 1 strike.
Not one.
And then that's the aggressiveness behind it. And listen, got batters like that. That's kind of the good and the bad that you get with it. So I'm not like, all right, these guys screw him. He sucks. Because listen, Nick Castellanos wasn't what we expected this year, but he's a part of why we're here. So that's why I'm not towards him. But like that is if I'm a pitcher, if I'm the pitching coach, before he comes up to bat, I'd be sending signs out to them like just be aggressive with him, but don't throw it around the strike zone.
Yeah.
Don't give him anything to hit because he's gonna chase.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he did here. Like my man Paul brought a good point here. Like, they had plenty of chances and they were aggressive. Astros came out on fire. So like I said, but this is look, 1-1. This is what happened in the last series. Again, I'm not panicked. I still feel like we're going to win this thing. It's going to be back in Philadelphia. You know, the Phillies thrive off the energy of these fans, and they'll be able to take care of
Yeah,
business.
Houston's not gonna. The Houston. Wait till they get here. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
You're not in a dome.
they're not in a dome. They're going to be. It's going to be chilly. You know, Monday night I believe is supposed to be a little bit of,
It's
Pacific.
going to be the rain has, as of right now, the forecast has calmed down a lot. To, I mean, there's a conversation that this game was going to be postponed.
Yeah, because
Everything was going to be pushed back a day.
Yeah,
But
here's the thing: they're going to be out in the elements. Okay, it's already starting to get a little bit nippy here in the Northeast. So I look at it like this. Yeah, they can sit there. I know I've been reading a lot of stuff Houston fans have been saying, like, oh, well, we went to New York. We're not going to be worried about coming to Philly. Listen, dude, there's a big difference between going to Yankee Stadium, a half-filled Yankee Stadium, when their fan base knows that team's not going to win, and coming to Philadelphia, where you're going to have 45,000 people screaming in your face. I'm like, your players don't know what they're about to walk into. They're walking into a hornet's nest.
listen,
Here.
I always say
I totally
good
agree.
players can thrive off of this. Being hated on. Like I always keep bringing this one up. You saw the Michael Jordan 30 for 30 or whatever it was called, and he would make up stuff like, "Oh, he didn't say hi to me in a restaurant." The guy goes, "I don't remember seeing him." You know what I mean? Like, and he made that, and then he goes and drops 40 points on him. You know what I mean? So good players can thrive off of that. So we'll see how good they are. Because I'll tell you right now, during the second to last game against the Padres, when I'm at the game, twice we chanted Soto sucks and Machado sucks, and both times they hit a home run off of us. So I'm not worried. That's not just us being aggressive; it's us being loud. That's the thing I don't think they're going to be used to. Listen, they were loud last night for a stadium on live TV during the World Series, but they haven't heard deafening loud. Something loud you can hear a mile away through a city with big giant buildings in it blocking you. That's what they haven't heard. They haven't been, the relentlessness of the situation. They haven't had that yet. And like they said, yeah, we went um we went to New York, but like you said, New York's New York, but they just feel
They're
like
not rabid anymore.
No, they feel like they deserve it more than they earned it. You know what I'm saying? They feel like that chair has been kept warm from, just like the Mets did. Mets were the same thing. They were expecting a Subway Series World Series, New York versus New York. You know what I mean? That's what they were expecting.
Paul, I like what he said here. He said the biggest concern I have from last night is that Altuve got on track with 3 sharp hits.
Yeah.
That's true, but like I said too, it was kind of, if you look at the way the Phillies pitching was last night, well, especially Wheeler, like I said, his fastball was flat last night. So I'm not impressed with them getting 3, like with Altuve getting 3 hits off of.
But at the same time, it's that's all you need sometimes when you're a guy like him who was, think about it, he was 4 for 30 something, 4 for the entire postseason on hits. He had 4 hits the entire postseason going into last night's game. He had 3 last night, so he almost doubled his hits in one game. So hopefully it isn't what helps Altuve, because if Altuve gets hot, yes, things gonna get a little bit more dicier for us. But
I'm just wondering who on our team is going to get hot, because like right now it seems like if Harper's hot, then there's always somebody else.
Thanks, Paul. 4 for 37, Paul. Thank you.
So it's always somebody. It's got to be Harper and somebody else that's hot. Like, who else is going to get hot now besides Harper? Like, I mean, JT had a good game 1. Like, Castellanos had a pretty decent game.
If Reese Hoskins, I'm not going to even say gets hot, gets dangerous, like I call it the Sloman Shield effect. What I mean by that is, every times people like have like the sticker, the thing on the front lawn, but don't actually have the security system. If he can get going,
get a couple hits.
Get a couple hits and put a little fear of God into the pitching, because here's how this works out for me. I mean, wouldn't it be totally a Philly situation if we could put our 2, big time starting pitchers in there and don't do as well as we would hope with them, and then here comes Ranger and Syndergaard, which actually should be Syndergaard and Ranger because he's 3 and 4. for the lineup, and they just, they can't hit him because they just maybe they come in uber confident about it's Noah Syndergaard isn't who he is, and this
Let me ask
Ranger.
you a question. Well, first of all, thanks for Ryan for checking in. He couldn't make it. He popped the training last night. He actually was showing me text.
What was her name?
Yeah, it was him. Did he pay her first?
Well, hey, hello.
That's why.
Maybe Pat.
That's why she popped.
But anyway, I'm with you guys, and I'm listening to what you're saying. First of all, I want to agree with Mike that if they come into Philly, like again, the atmosphere between here in New York is just a totally different animal. To me, I said this on Al show Wednesday. This is gonna be like Bronx Tale. Once you come into these doors, we're locking it up and we're gonna beat the piss out of you, and you're gonna walk out all bloodstained up.
The thing I'm waiting to see is that listen. At the end of the day, even with the game last night, if Phillies had a chance to win that game last night, they
we're right. They did it. They had guys in scoring position,
they-
and two, and like you said about someone getting hot, like you said, you need that one Reese Hoskins that you can feel coming through.
And
the TV.
I'm sorry for the rest of the series. I don't care if it's left-handed pitching. I don't care if it's right-handed pitching. You leave Bryson Stott in there.
Yes, I agree.
This kid has been fighting off.
I agree with you 100%. I don't mind what he did last night to start the game. He put a lot of righties in there to go up against a guy who's a very good pitcher to take. Because if you see the pitching splits, he threw like a 130 against lefties and like a 230. It's like it was a whole point different in the ERA. So yeah, I get the point, and I don't think it was a bad idea. And he went to his credit, to Topper's credit, he didn't run with it all night. And he's like, all right, this isn't working. You guys are out. These guys are in.
Yeah,
Bayton got a start in the World Series and hasn't played probably since they played in Houston when his brother punched the locker.
Yeah.
I want to answer Paul's question here. He said, "What do you guys think about sliding Bowman Castellanos down in the lineup?"
Listen,
switching. He means switching, not sliding. Yeah.
Okay, so to me, I don't know if that really does anything.
You go from 5 to 6 to 6 to 5. I get
putting more pressure on Bohm. I think
I get what you're saying, but that's the one thing about baseball people don't get. Like when a guy's hot, they figure you can switch and move him around. When a guy's cold, you got to drop him down. I don't think it works that way, and especially in the World Series. I think every pitch. I don't care if the guy's Bryce Harper or Sosa. I don't care if it's Bryson Stott versus Bryce Harper. You're pitching the best you got. You're working that. You're looking at the scouting report. Because as anybody can become a hero in the World Series. And if you put all your eggs in the basket and worry about Harper and just think, if I throw it down the lane, Bryson Stott's going to just pop it out or hit into a double or something, that's when you get burnt. So I get the point.
I just think it's too far in for him to mess with that chemistry. Because I'll tell you what, and how about Schwarber last night?
Paul, this is something we're going to talk about too. I agree with you. Go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
That home run last night, that wasn't a home run. When I first saw it and I seen him crush that, I was like, I can't even watch it. I was at Dolan's, and when he crushed that, I went, ooh! I was like, I don't think that went out.
I like when he called a home run, I was just surprised,
dude. I was like,
yeah.
I was like literally going. I literally was like, I'll take it, but I was like, I know Houston's going to challenge that.
Well, I was just sitting there going, oh shit, that is a home run. I thought from my eye, I thought it wasn't a home run. Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as I looked at it, I was like, ooh, I don't think that's a home run. I was like, but if they're going to call it a home run, I'm just praying they don't have the evidence to return it. But as soon as they showed the first replay, I went, oh, dude, that's not a home run. Then the next pitch almost hits it out again.
Yeah, that would have been poetic justice if he did the next pitch. And it literally was maybe 6 inches differential between a home run. If Tucker wasn't as tall as he was, it probably would either be a home run or bounce off that wall.
Yeah, and I looked and I was like, you know what? I was like, that's when I looked at my wife. I went, yeah, tonight's not our night. I was like, because if it was our night, that ball goes out.
Yeah. And there was plenty of chances, and I believe, let's jump down here real quick. I'll get to Walter in a second. I'm sorry. Oh, here you go. If Schwarber ball is out, it's 5-3. Who knows? Exactly. That's the thing is, I think. If you look at it, they scored 2 runs later. I'll tell you right now. Of course, if they score a run, there's a higher chance they're going to win. I know it kind of sounds silly that way, but I think if they hit that home run after they got it back, and he goes, "Okay, I'll do it again," I think that takes a lot of wind out of a lot of sails. We would have seen Hector Neris, Hector Neris was warming up,
Yeah.
you know, and he wouldn't have, and it would have been funny because it could have been ending up being Hector Neris versus Castellanos again at one point. But my point is like, yeah, if you get 2 more runs and you take that deficit down to 2, yeah, they're sweating a little bit. They're sweating a little bit. They're you know, Valdez is maybe cleaning his hands a little more.
Yeah.
He's got the palm olive out trying to really scrub off anything he's got on his hands.
Something. But Pat, getting back to our original point going here with this, you know, to me, the whole narrative is like all these naysayers, or I'm not going to say naysayers, but these experts right away is they look at the rosters and they go, Philadelphia can be in this for the first 2 games. After the first 2 games, it's going to be all Houston. And I disagree with that because
I totally agree with what you're saying.
Because, you know, we weren't supposed to beat St. Louis.
Mhm.
St. Louis had the better talented roster. We beat them straight. Atlanta. No, Phillies can't possibly beat a team that has 101 wins, right? The Phillies discard them in 5.
Mhm.
Then it moves on to the Padres. Okay, this team, the Padres, who only had 2 more wins than us, they had 89 wins. Okay, they took out a 106 win team. Oh man, the Padres. There's no way that the Phillies. Did you see the back end of the Padres bullpen? They got Hader, they got this, they got that. The Phillies got rid of them in 5 games. Like, so to me, I'm tired of hearing the narrative that it's just only Nola and Wheeler, and then after that, if you take a look at it, you know, in this postseason, Syndergaard's been really good. Ranger Suarez has been really good as well. I mean, he had his first start, he was kind of but he only gave up 1 run.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So even though he wasn't at his best, Ranger, he only gave up 1 run, and then he dominated.
Yeah.
You know, he dominated San
And
Diego.
we'll see the fact that he had to pitch in game 1, if that affects him in any which way. Most people say they don't think so, but we'll find out. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. Gus saying if he wouldn't have ran the bases, he could have a bit more mustard on that, inches away.
Right.
I mean, I would hope that's not true. If the guy can't take a little jog around the bases, but
Yeah, and you could catch Gus Thursday nights on the attacking third. But yeah, like I said, with you guys though, and like you're saying, Mike, the national media is counting us out all this whole ride. But you know what? I love that. Just think that we're a bunch of buffoons at the plate. Just think that we don't have what it takes. You know, just think Ranger Suarez is just going to be a day at the beach. I want you to think that because, and you, like you
so
guys
I'm
are
saying
saying,
this is where they go. Oh, okay,
yeah.
they're not hitting the guy that they should hit.
No, right. And then here comes our bullpen in game, which I love, by the way, because we have a decent bullpen, like you said. And they're probably looking at, well, like you said, oh, they're old names. Thor don't have it no more. Eflin screwed up. He's blah, 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 and this, that, and third. No, this is where this team comes up strong and is in these bullpen games. This is what's keeping us in these
I like
games.
what Paul's saying here too.
Mhm.
He said good. He goes, good thing Astros closer Presley looked like he was pressing last night.
Yeah, and I don't know, once again, because it wasn't a closer situation. You know how these guys are mental with these things, like, and it maybe he was pressing.
Yeah, but
Maybe the
game 1 he was kind of shaky too.
Yeah. So
Like this is the one thing. Like, what was the one thing that we went into this series worried about? Like we've been worried about in the past series. It's been our bullpen, right? Our bullpen has outplayed the Astros bullpen. We've outplayed them. I think I don't think they've given up a run, have they?
You know what? Steve has a point here. I did look at this last night, but I didn't really bring this up. But looking at the number of pitches every guy threw, but Houston, he goes, an expensive win for them. Presley had already with 40 pitches, and Montero with 50 pitches. I think Baker mismanaged this win. I think Houston's in trouble. And what he's saying is, like, because Dusty Baker, the manager of the Houston Astros, said, you know what, I'm going to throw my closer out there when it wasn't a closing situation, when you could have at least thrown Hector Neris or somebody out there, because now you got your closer. Now they get the day off, but he makes a good point.
Can you imagine the response Neris is going to get when he gets to Citizens Bank Park?
oh my god.
Oh, that's going to be great. And listen, as this Paul was saying, you know, they held their own. Even listen, will get Bellinati's been money.
Mhm.
He's been money this he's been money this postseason. The regular season, you know, he was pitching batting practice, but once it got going, you know, once we got going with this playoff thing, like Bellinati's been good. You know, the left-handers or the 2 left-handers, you know, Hand who's the other one that can't throw a strike for us left-hander?
Who
Brad,
can't?
Yeah, Brad Hand and the other lefty, the one that I think you just put him up there.
Brogdon?
Brogdon?
No, he's not a lefty.
No, he's not a lefty. Well, anyway, Brad Hand, Dave Robertson. Like I could care
Yeah.
less if either one.
Bellotti? No,
Bellotti's been pitching
I was
good.
going to say.
Bellotti's been pitching good. But those two, I don't care if I don't see them the rest of
Well,
the series.
this guy's saying they have Eflin and Gibson. Walter saying they have Eflin and Gibson, 2 stars, and could go a few innings.
Yeah.
The Eflin maybe. Gibson, I don't know, man. I think he's toast. I don't know if he's injured. I don't think you see him at all.
No, I agree.
Even if like say like Syndergaard comes out and gets his
And
bell rung.
And I don't think they want to kick the tires on that one either. I'm afraid.
Like I don't know.
He was too bipolar.
His fortitude's somewhere else. It ain't on him.
Like I call him Kyle, Garbage Can, Gibson. So, but look, we all know this wasn't going to be easy. We all know this was going to be no day at the beach. We all know this was going to be a sweep. And for the guys who were out there who thought this was, and then you got a homer problem.
Dude, listen, you know what? And who's the kid that hit the home runs? Was it Tucker?
Tucker, yeah.
He was
the pair of home runs in game 1.
Yeah, pair of home runs. He was the one that came out and said literally, and it was.
Oh
great.
yeah, he's a trash talker.
Oh, listen, he was like, oh yeah, he goes, I would rather just sweep it 4 and get it done and over with. Like basically came out and said that. And Sixto Lescano, the former Philly, called him out on it last night. He was like, yeah, he said, way to go. He said, if I'm the Phillies, he said, I would put this quote up in my locker room. He goes, and when the Phillies win the World Series, he goes, I would have that printed on a shirt, and that's what I would wear out to the celebration.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. That's definitely something that's going to be, Jason Kelsey's going to help them write their speech.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
You say, somebody's going to be out there. Here's Sully. Astros pen is lead, but the Phillies are working. I mean, that's a very good point.
Yeah, like Montero, the Phillies were on Montero.
I said last night, if this was a regular season game, this would have been like the Phillies are just so different when it comes to this. Like were they saving it? Were they just a switch flicked in the back of their heads? I don't know what it was, but yeah, like normally in this game, like when they're down and they have to bring in, they wouldn't get anything. Like they would just go cold. But this team doesn't seem like they know what cold is.
No, and like back to, like I said, we got slapped in the mouth, and I love it. We got punch in the mouth. Now it's going to be in our home. This is what we do best. Like we're going to respond like 100 dogs, and we're just going to chew them up. And Dusty Baker is just going to be annoyed with all the fan base, and they're going to just be so rough. The volume of this.
Listen, I get you. You got to take a step back, and I mean really. And what I mean by step back is like give Dusty his due, man. Like Dusty is a very, very good coach, very good baseball guy.
Yeah, I know.
He's smart, and it's not like he hasn't pitched in these type of things. He hasn't managed in these type of games. I mean, if you take a look,
I totally agree, Joe. And you can catch Joe every Monday night at 6 p.m. on the Silly Squad. Yeah, he should be playing every game. He's a great at bat. He's got great discipline at the plate. He gets great walks. I love it. I love that.
I mean, his at bats. I think they said every at bat he's had that if he didn't hit, get on base or get a walk, he had like any strikeout or anything like that pop out. I think it was like a 7+ pitch at bat, which goes far. I mean, because that was the one thing for Wheeler who struggled yesterday. Like before they were pulled, like say the 4th, 5th inning, he had less pitches thrown because all those doubles came in 3 pitches. So like all that hitting they did and the couple points that they let up in the beginning of the couple runs they let up in the beginning of the game.
Didn't he end up with like 60 or 70 pitches?
Yeah, he could have went further, but I just think they're like he doesn't have it. Let's put Brogdon in. Why chance it after that 2-run home run?
Plus, too, I mean, if you need to use him later on down the series, he'll be ready.
It's smart.
He'll be ready to go. I mean, I think it's been smart. I'd also like to see them get. It says Syndergaard is starting game 3, which I don't mind that. I think you have Bailey Falter as a backup for that because.
Well, no, Bailey Falter didn't make the roster. I thought.
Oh, he didn't make the roster?
I think that's why. So Maton and Nick Nelson, and I think he was the odd man out for that.
Okay, so I didn't know that.
Yes, Josh, the Union do play today. They play for their chance to play next weekend.
Yes, come out to PJ Willihan's tonight at 8 p.m. Me and my man Gus will be up there having a little watch party. But anyway, let's get back to this game here. So, guys, we're gonna have Ranger Suarez on the mound. how does Game 3 play out to you guys?
No, Ranger Suarez is not on the mound for Game 3. It's Syndergaard.
Syndergaard.
I'm sorry. So
Syndergaard.
Syndergaard's-
I like it. I mean, he's.
So it's a bullpen game for us. How do you,
Hold on. You're assuming it's going to be a bullpen game.
That's exactly what it's going to be.
No, you're assuming. You're assuming.
You're adorable.
Yeah.
You're assuming it's going to be a bullpen game because he's starting. Who's not to say either one? He gets rocked in the first inning and gets taken out. Then it would be what you
but
said.
you're right. He's only going to give you 2-3 innings.
How do you know? How do you know he's only going to give you 2-3?
Because it's proven.
How is it proven?
Because
Are we at Monday yet? I'm sorry. I thought this was Sunday morning, not Tuesday.
It doesn't take rocket science to know this guy can't give you 3 innings.
What do you mean? How do you know he can't give you 3 innings?
He can't give you more than 3.
Listen, I think he gives you. I think they're putting him in there knowing he earned the ability to say that he could go. Because think about it, when they pulled him last time, he went what 3 innings?
3 innings, shut out.
He shut it out.
I'm sorry,
and he
one
only
run.
gave up like 40, 45 pitches. So if you can get 5 out of him, then go for it. I mean, I think they have every intent to go more than 3 innings with him.
They're going to go more than 3 innings. You're automatically assuming, it's Syndergaard.
If they go out and he, like I said, if they expect to hit up on him and Syndergaard is just keeping him off balance, they're going to run. They're going to ride that. They're going to ride that train. They're going to ride the lightning with Thor.
They're going to look at Thor and be like, "Go ahead, brother, bring that hammer." You know what I mean? Like this is the World Series. They're like, you got to leave it all out. They're going to empty Thor's tank because guess what? Thor's not going to pitch again. By the time he rolls around for him to go, he's not going to go again.
Right. So, like I said, I think he just gives you 3 innings. You're going to have, like you say, go.
That's your opinion. You think he's going to go 3 innings. I think he's going to go longer. He didn't have that many pitches in his last start. Okay. He knows how to pitch. Like you guys forget.
He knows how to pitch. He's pitching the World Series.
He's pitched in a World Series,
but he didn't.
Again, he was with the Mets. I mean, the Mets don't. Two guys that never got any run support when they pitch is DeGrom and Syndergaard. They never got run support. Now he's with a team that's going to be able to give him runs.
Now Steve has a good point here because you remember he is coming off Tommy John surgery, and it's all about timing with Tommy John surgery because that's kind of what happened with Sir Anthony. Right. Sir Anthony was about 1.5 years when he started coming back, and that's usually about the healing time. And listen, you're amped up in the World Series. That's number one. And the velocity may be up. If his velocity's up a tick, he might not be exactly the Syndergaard of old, but he'd be much closer than he's been.
Right.
And the only thing you have to worry about is his stability with being able to be up velocity at this point. So I don't count out Syndergaard is right at this point. And maybe, he's been throwing some bullpen sessions and doing everything, and they're seeing something because they have not that they would give it away or tip their hat, but they have in the past, like, we hope to get 3 or 4 out of Noah. And
they're not saying that.
They're not saying that. There's just something.
There's something there that they saw.
Just keep your eye on it.
Right. There's something that.
Well, I would be surprised if the guy gives you 5.
No, now you're saying 5. Like, what is it?
I said, I said I would be surprised. I said, to me, this is a bullpen game. When you have Syndergaard on the mound, this is, to me, it's considered a bullpen game. They're paraphrasing it for you. It's a bullpen game because the guy can only give you 3 innings. And if he gives you any more than that, I'll be surprised. Hell, I'll whip out my hammer.
Nobody wants to see that.
It's not as big as his, but still.
It's more like a nail.
Thumbtack.
Yeah. See, I got Mike down in that.
This show's off the rails, folks. Here we go.
Linda's saying 5 innings tops. Linda, I think if he gives them more than 5 innings, that is just icing on the cake.
That's icing on the cake. I would love 5 innings because you go him 5 innings, you throw Eflin in for 2. That'll get you to the 7th, and then you got Alvarado, Sir Anthony.
See, I like Steve. He's one of those knowledgeable, like not that all our guys are now, but he's one of those knowledgeable fans. He was only 94 when he was traded for. He's now been up to 96. If he's at 1 or 2 more miles per hour up, and he unloads the tank,
that's a problem.
It's a big problem, and that's what I'm saying. I think they see that in him, and I don't know if they're so much worried about his innings, knowing that maybe they're like, if we get 3, that's good. If we get 5, that's great. We get more than 5, holy shit, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if he gets more than 3, he's rolling.
Yeah.
If he gets and if the Phillies offense is, kind of supporting that as well, that's another point to it. Syndergaard gives up a lot of long fly balls once they line up. It's about for him unless he's really on. That's true. Like his fly balls that's the one thing about him being in CBP is the fly balls can be a home run just as quickly.
Right.
So we got to see what it's like. And I'm wondering once again if his miles per hour are up, their timing's off on him because their
Well,
scouting
you know what?
report is completely different.
Not to shift gears, sir, but Mike, you got me roused up this morning. But know what? Since you did, let's
You sure it was Mike this morning?
She calmed me down a little bit. Well,
Wow.
but anyway,
Anyway.
damn it. Anyway, Mike, since you got me roused, listen, I gotta be honest with you. What the hell happened yesterday afternoon? What happened? Let's
Hold on 1 second before you start rallying him up. Let's do this.
Yes.
Mike, because you were there last night. Why don't you take this one?
Oh, guys, yes, I was there live and in person. Me and my lovely wife, we were at Dolan's last night. So, guys, if you want to come watch the World Series, last night Lenny Dykstra was in the house being Lenny.
Yeah.
It was
he is consistent with that.
He was being Lenny last night. Make sure you go over there, see PJ and all the rest of the crew over there at Dolan's, 24 East Sellers Avenue. Coming up, if this series does go to a game 6, Mickey Morandini will be in the house. So, guys, it's a great time over there. I had a blast for the first time actually going to
It's a great
Dolan's.
place, isn't it?
Yeah, man. Thought it would be bigger, but
It's
the lore, though, man.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, it was a really good time.
And the Outback is a great setup too for where it is. It's great.
Believe it or not, last night somebody actually brought their TV from their house with an antenna
That's funny.
and set it up on another table. So they had like 3 TVs going. They had
That's Stolen's, man. That is people. It is a community bar. People love it. Everybody
friendly atmosphere. Probably one of the most friendliest atmospheres I've been around.
Yeah.
I've been around the bar scene a lot, in my adult life. But yeah, definitely, guys, if you want to get out to Dolan's, man, like I said, 24 East Sellers Avenue in Ridley Park, go there. We had a great time last night. You will too. Of course, if you go to Dolan's and something should break out and you need the advice, you call our man David Archerius. David Archeria at 610-565-0300. He'll help you with workman's compensation, motor vehicle accidents, personal law, or criminal law, personal injury. Again, that's 610-565-0300.
and check him out at charityinjurylaw.com. It's a great place to reach him at.
And guys, man, this is phillysportstrips.com. Go hit them up, man. Look at all the great games that are coming up. Matter of fact, if you still got a little bit of time, you want to go down to Houston, feel that atmosphere, that playoff atmosphere from this World Series. Go down there, catch the Eagles, Houston. They're going to be tying it up. This next Thursday coming up, man, go get yourself on one of these trips. I'm hearing it is a time of your life.
Mm-hmm.
And our next big one that's coming up here locally is the trip to New York. Only $325 will get you
$345. It's
$345. $345. Okay, I'm sorry. $345. It'll get you food, drinks, the whole 9 yards. It is a hell of a time. You can hang out with guys from Bells and the Bourbon. You can hang out with John Kincaid from 975. You can hang out.
You can hang out with me and possibly Al.
Well, I was going to get there.
And Joe Sullivan.
Jesus
God, you're promoting. Screw them, man. You promote us.
Yes, I'm getting there.
I love you, Mike.
You can hang out with Big Mike. You can hang out with my man Al Safir. You can hang out with the John. I know the John's pumped up to go. And possibly, if I could get a permission slip, you can hang out with me. But anyway, man, guys,
permission slip.
But look, guys, it is. However, I hear it's a great time. Come check it out. They're only $345. And guys, Mike and Al can vouch for this. The food is out.
Oh my God! Still one of the best.
When we finally get him his permission slip and we bring him out, we'll be doing a whole video of him eating.
This dude. No, listen. John Bartlett said it best. I'm looking at the food right in Washington. I'm looking at it, and he literally looks and goes, if the gobbler was here, he'd have a plate of food eating while standing in line going to get another plateful.
Yes.
Like, this dude, that's going to be must-see TV.
Yes, I can't wait. So, guys, go check it out. And, guys, look at this heavy, thick, girthy schedule that's out here, man. I mean, the EOP's brand is only getting better every day. The network is growing. It's becoming a 24/7 ongoing show here, man. You cannot do it any better, man. So come check us, Edge of Philly Sports, the Painted Lines, Deborah Sports. You got Passing Out Fanatics. You got all of the Philly Press Box, all of this in one.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, tonight, if you guys are not doing anything, I would suggest you guys, 9 p.m., check out the lacrosse guys. all across all the time. I love those dudes. My man
Gary's
and
awesome.
Muffler Mike.
And it's kind of funny that we have a 6-0 Eagles team, and don't forget the halftime, and the post game show presented by EOP and the Painted Lines.
Yeah, definitely check out our guys over there too. Painted
So
Lines.
not too long after this show's done, you'll have all Eagles coverage, because like I said, I was actually coming here. I was coming here and I stopped at Wawa, of course, got myself a little coffee to get the Java going here, and I had to put on my green. You know, like I feel like I'm Batman. I'm a superhero. I got to change my outfit so often. Like, and like I'm like, should I wear my Phillies hat and my Eagles hoodie, or my Phillies hoodie, my Eagles hat? The problem is you look like a Christmas tree, a big fat Christmas tree if you're me. And but I'm like, all right, you know what? Phillies day off. I'm gonna go Eagles. I gotta give my Eagles some love. You got your Flyers out. The Flyers,
hey, they got a point last night.
They're keeping it interesting. You got the Union, of course, which are on tonight as well. There's a lot of Philly sports to be involved with, but you guys want to go. You want to take it. You want to take it to an unhappy valley right now.
Yes, we got to go to the extreme here, because me and Mike, again, we love our Penn State Nittany Lions. However, another big game on the line. Again, after falling short 2 weeks ago against Michigan, we thought this team was going to come out strong, and which they did. At least the defense did. The defense in that first half was pretty solid. However, Sean Clifford, to me, if you were going to pull out the blame pie chart, this guy eats all of it, all 8 slices of this blame pie chart to me, because this guy was throwing picks left and right in the beginning. That one kid from Ohio State, the one defenseman, he owned him. Like I said, I don't want to butcher his name, but he owned them. He, strip sacked them, picked them, whatever he wanted. I mean, he was sacked them twice. I mean, he owned Sean Clifford yesterday. And Sean Clifford, the cojones on this guy, after he threw a second pick, looked at his wide out and like, dude, this is your fault. Are you kidding me? You idiot. You're the one costing this game over here. And then, like I said, he made some adjustments and he looked good, making some decent throws to Parker Washington, which was decent. But then again, when it came clutch time, when it's time to step up, this guy throws picks after picks. And then by then, your defense is gassed. Is flabbergasted. They just could not stay with Ohio State. But Mike, I'll swing it to you, because you, my friend, we made Facebook posts, Twitter, tweets, everything. You are red ass this morning.
Oh, dude, my cheeks are chapped.
I like it.
This everything that you saw yesterday is the reason why I want James Franklin out of Penn State. This dude sucks. All right, I don't care about his recruiting, whatever. Get the hell out of Happy Valley, dude. You suck. You are one and forever. Listen, Sean Clifford, who's a 6-year senior, okay, is 0-11 in games, in big games. He's 0-11. What's that tell you? That means for the last 6 years, Ohio State, Penn State, or Michigan, he shit the bed.
And why is somebody a 6-year senior?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No,
he's not a doctor.
But why? Because he's not good enough to move on to the next level. It's time to move on. I mean, listen, you guys gave us some good Penn State football at times, but like you said, when the time counted, it wasn't there. And we all see this guy in the weightings. I don't want to compare to Ben Roethlisberger, but that is the body type, the type of thrower he is as of right now. And when is it a good time? Are they just going to ride this for the rest of the season? Then it's his. Like, I don't know, but I'm not going to kill Clifford on that first interception because it was a deflection.
Yeah. I agree with you.
And Penn State was missing their starting right tackle yesterday. They starting right tackle wasn't playing. This is where I put the blame on. I mean, Clifford did throw the ball, but this is where I put the blame on Franklin. If you know your starting right tackle's out and you're watching film on this guy and you're seeing this guy wreak havoc.
I love Sully.
Dan Wilder, I was just about to say that.
Yeah, it's a good one.
And if you see him then you slide protection over. Put a goddamn tight end over him on that side. Give him help.
Right.
No, they don't do it. Another thing they didn't do yesterday, I watched that whole entire game, and guess what? till 8 minutes and 29 seconds of being till 8 minutes and 29 seconds of that game, Penn State was taking it to the number 2 ranked team in the nation. They couldn't stop Penn State running the ball. They were averaging 8 yards on first down. Manny Diaz had a great defensive game plan. Okay. CJ Stroud looked lost yesterday. Looked lost until the final 8 minutes. And then all of a sudden, the wheels just completely. And I'm not going to give that. I'm not getting on that defense. Why? Because you can't be on the field for almost 40 minutes of the game and still be able to sustain that. The offense gave them no help. And you're talking about Parker Washington. That dude made Sean Clifford look good yesterday. That dude was diving. He was diving all over the place.
Yes.
I don't know how many balls he ripped out of, literally should have been. Sean Clifford should have had 6 interceptions yesterday.
Agreed.
Enough with Sean Clifford. Enough with James Franklin. This is why when I said on the college football show over on Out of the Box, I said, I'm not watching another game. This is the reason why I watch it. I get so frustrated because it's the same mistakes over and over again. It's Clifford not having a strong enough arm to throw the ball downfield. These little ratchet-ass gimmick plays that they try and run. They got lucky on the one touchdown, too. The Parker Washington touchdown. They got lucky. The 2 guys from Ohio State ran into each other, and he was able to break the tackle and run down the sideline. So that was luck. That defense played its ass off yesterday, and they deserved a much better outcome. They should have been storming the field at Happy Valley yesterday, but no. Franklin and Clifford cost them this game. Plain and simple. They didn't give the guy no help. You have a sophomore right tackle going against a senior who's been blowing everybody up. Give him help. Run the ball.
The devil's advocate, though, Mike. James Franklin doesn't do any of the play calling. Doesn't do anything.
I don't care. He's the head coach, dude.
He's held responsible.
He's
for that
responsible.
Reason. If the play calling is not his fault, then it's somebody else's head that gets rolled.
Right.
I don't care. At the end of the year, I hope they roll his head. I really do. He's got to go.
Do you think after that extension they gave him, there's any chance of that happening?
Yes. Oh, listen.
No.
Yeah, I do. Listen, you don't understand something, dude. Penn State, the alumni in there, they will speak volumes. Dude, with this new NIL, where you can go and get players and bring players to you, that's going to benefit a team like Penn State. Okay? You think for 1 second this dude keeps shitting the bed every year, coming in 3rd place, not being able to beat Michigan on the regular, not being able to, Ohio State's our daddies.
Yeah.
They've owned us. They spank us every year.
Yeah. It doesn't feel good to be spanked.
Well, you would know.
Yeah.
But I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of the once a decade win against Ohio State.
Yeah.
Dude, you've been there 9 years. You're 1-10 against Ohio State. No, there's got to be a change. I'm telling you now, Luke Fickell from Cincinnati, if he's the head coach of this team, they don't lose to Michigan. They don't lose to Ohio State yesterday because he doesn't do the same asinine things that James Franklin does.
And
they don't choke.
No, and like I said, it just, to me, I felt bad for the defense in that second half because they were flabbergasted. You saw they were just burnt. I mean, to me, like I said, Clifford had, like you said, I'll give you that the first pick was a deflection, was a layup one. I'll make an excuse for that.
That was a great play. That was a great play.
He got 8. Again, they write him like a book yesterday where he wants to go with the rock. Again, they just.
If it wasn't for Parker Washington yesterday,
yeah,
Parker Washington
they weren't in game. They weren't even been in game yesterday.
Well, no, they would have been because Allen. They couldn't stop Allen and Singleton. Mm-hmm. Allen and Singleton were they were gashing them yesterday. Paul, Al, can you bring up that
Rob Hefner?
2 points. Yeah. It says you don't blame Franklin because he wasn't calling the offensive. It was the offensive coach ran the ball. Right. All right. Here's the thing with that. Before those plays go in, they go through Franklin. So it doesn't matter that the offensive coordinator's calling the plays. It goes through the head coach first. So, and that's Franklin is the one ultimately who says, yes, that's what we're going to run, or no, that's not what we're going to run. So I don't want to. It's Franklin. Franklin has the final say on what's that.
Now, real quick, not to cut you off, but there's been a couple comments here. I've been leaving them here, and I want to get your guys' opinion on this.
Okay.
Paul's asking it next. If they were to release him, could Matt Rule be the next Penn State?
Dude, I would drive him there. I love Matt Rule. I think Matt Rule's a very good college coach.
Well, I mean, it wasn't the recruiting thing was a big thing for him. He was bringing guys in the Temple who couldn't, who would have never been to Temple. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
I mean,
if that's your reasoning to pay a guy like Franklin that much money because of his ability of recruiting, which I still don't understand. I always thought if your team's winning, recruiting's kind of like comes second nature to it. Right. But what do I know? But how would you feel about Matt Rule?
I would in a heartbeat, because I saw what he did for Temple. He made Temple
Baylor.
He made Temple a household name. No, listen, Baylor's always had a good football program.
Right.
Excuse me. Baylor's been really good. So him going there, he just made them better. So, but you saw what he did with that Temple team, man. And a lot of those guys actually ended up in the NFL. Guys like Robbie Anderson,
Rob, gotta love Vegas Rob. Sometimes being spanked to be a good thing, but not by Ohio State.
Yeah, my man Rob, and you get to catch him on Outbox
every Saturday. Yep.
Yeah, I like my man Rob.
Them guys, man, him and Kenny Fry, I got to give them credit, man. They cover a lot of good stuff, man, out there with that. They were on it with the A's possibly moving there. They've been on that for about a month now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. Vegas is trying to have a 4-for-4 town.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It says, as a Michigan fan, I'd be worried and actually scared of PSU as much as OSU if Rule took the job. Well, listen, right now, Matt Rule's not in no hurry to take any job because he's being paid like $40 million to sit at home by the Carolina Panthers. But yeah, I'm done. Like I'm done with Franklin, and I know I'm not the only one that feels this way.
No, Mike.
Like when I put my tweet out yesterday, dude, Blair Thomas actually liked my tweet. So I mean, there's an alum right there that's like agreeing with me.
Right.
What about missed tackles, missed interceptions, missed assignments on day? Again, Anthony, if you were listening to me earlier, but I said the defense was on the field for almost 40 minutes of the game, man. Yeah. Your defense can't be on the field 40 minutes out of a 60-minute game. They were gassed. Towards the end of that, that's why they broke that long run. Before that long run, that guy scored a 41-yarder. Penn State defense gave up 37 yards rushing up until that point.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to fault the defense. The offense has got to get it in the end zone. Okay? And I had a few people say to me, oh, well, they had the chance and they got shut down on that fourth down play. They should have had, 3 extra points. What the hell is 3 extra points going to do when you give up 28 in the last 4 minutes of the game? From 8 minutes to 4 minutes, they gave up 28 points.
Right.
28 points. You can't do that. You can't do that. And they came off of turnovers.
Oh, yeah? Well, Franklin says, hold my beer. When you tell him he can't do that. Watch me, Mike Laro. Watch me. That's what he said.
I felt so bad for those people that were there yesterday. If I'm a Penn State alum and I went and watched that game, I would be calling for his head. I'd be going right to I would have looked at the AD and be like, dude, get this dude the hell out of here.
Well, the only saving grace he's got is going to try that. And I'm hoping he's going to try that kid to back up for next.
No, I don't want him touching that kid, to be honest with you.
I don't think he's going to ruin him?
No. Pat, what more do we need to see that this dude can't coach?
I got you.
What more do you need to see?
That's what I'm saying. That's his only saving grace.
No, look at all the good players they've had, bro. They've had Chris Godwin playing wide receiver under this dude. You had Saquon Barkley, Miles Sanders. How many more people do you need under this dude? Jahan Dotson. And they're still coming in third.
Yes.
Obviously, when you have the players and it's not getting it done, where do you got to look, dude? It's the head coach. They've already changed the defensive coordinator. It's not the defense.
Mike, I totally agree. So
he's got to go.
Right.
Plain and simple. End of story. Franklin, pack your bags. Get the hell out of Happy Valley. Do us all a favor.
I mean, let's be honest. Nobody was real super happy when he first got here.
And no one liked when he got that contract extension. I know I did.
I actually was befuddled about the contract.
Yeah, I rolled my eyes like.
I was like, wait a minute, he can do a bad job and get a contract extension.
Dude,
I was like talking to my boss, like if James Franklin get the extension, we got to do something for me over here.
Exactly. Dude, I was seriously going to get into coaching. I'm like, if this dude can get a head coaching job and be that bad and get paid this amount of money, get a 10-year contract,
I'll take half the money.
I'll take half the money,
and I'll be twice as bad for you.
Yeah. Like, I don't understand it, man. And I'm pretty sure he's a nice guy. I'm pretty sure James Franklin's probably a cool dude.
Listen, I'm not here about it being his friend. It's about wins.
It's about wins, dude. And I'm a Penn State fan, and obviously he's not doing what it needs to take to get done. And I'm sorry. And if I offend any other Penn State fans out there, because I know we got Schmitty, Ryan Schmitty's he's a big homer for them guys, and nothing's ever his fault. Like, he'll start pointing at other shit.
No, but it's funny because, like I said, and I try and, like I said, play devil's advocate with you and say that he doesn't do the play calling. Well, and then, like, to me, what the hell's his job? Is he the mascot?
Yes.
What the hell's he do?
You see, he's got pom poms.
Well, listen. It's old school not to have the head coach making play calls. I mean, look at Nick Sirianni with the Eagles. Like, I mean, he doesn't make the play calls anymore. He learned that maybe it's not my strength right now. It's time. I need to make the decision to change. So there's nothing wrong with him not making play calls. I'm okay. I prefer my head coach. The point of a head coach is to oversee everything. Mm-hmm. So, like Mike said earlier, these plays are going through him. So if these plays aren't working, you got to bring this guy in and ream him out. But if you keep playing in play caller after play caller, defensive coordinator after defensive coordinator, sooner or later it's got to, the finger pointing has got to turn
go back to you.
Sooner to the guy in the mirror.
Sooner or later, it's got to go back to him. And I'm just hoping it's more sooner than later. Because to be honest with you, I am so tired of coming down. I'm so tired of finishing up either in third or fourth place. And now, and like I said, the only reason they're going to finish in third this year is because Sparty is having a bad year. Right. And they almost beat Michigan last night too, by the way, at the Big House. So
look, man, we'll see what goes on there. Mike, I want to touch on this with you. Mike, how about those?
Why do you always want to touch me? You're starting to make me wonder.
Well, because you're my buddy. So anyway,
don't buddies touch each other all the time?
Aren't we butt buddies at this point? No. Yeah. Anyway, listen.
I drank my coffee this morning.
Are we potentially looking at an Eastern Conference matchup right here between the Flyers and Hurricanes? Because Flyers, Rod Brendy and his boys came up from having a 4-2-1 versus a Flyers team that's 5-2. And man, you were talking about. I know, like I said, everyone had their eyes on the World Series, and I got all that.
You see, I got my Flyers.
Yeah, but
I'm proud of these boys. These kids are playing, man.
No, the teams were going back and forth.
These cats have the pajamas. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what. Listen, like I said, I'm hopefully going to have this article finished. I got to get it over to you, Al, actually. But I wrote kind of an apology letter to Tortorella, because I kind of judged him a little bit before I got to see what he's doing. And he's got these kids playing, man. Although I'm
make sure Torts gets it right in front of his desk.
Yeah.
Come Monday morning.
There you go.
Again, like I said, they fall short a little bit yesterday. Slow
they
start.
They got a point out of it. I mean, this is all you can ask for, man. Like, these are the games last year that, the Flyers would just, they would poop the bed.
Yeah.
Like, it's the easiest way to put it. Like, you're not going to see them get shut out 6-0. They did a year ago. There's not going to be a 13-game losing streak. Like, this is something that I'm actually happy about.
They're tied for first place, which I know. Listen, I get it.
I don't care. Listen,
8-9 games played. It's still they're tied for first place with the Hurricanes. So.
And again, yesterday prior to the game, they had a press conference, and someone asked him about about Carl. He said, "Dude," he's like, "I can feel that when I pull into my car." He's like, "You can hear my car shake from the noise across the street." He's like, he said it. I want that. I want what's going on.
I like the fact that all the teams have taken notice. I mean, listen, the news people or the reporters are asking the questions, about the Phillies to the Sixers, the Eagles, and all that. They asked Sirianni, who actually here I'll give you something. It's you guys may like. It's from our boys over at Football Stories. He had a clip here. You'll like this. I know it's not really Flyers related, but it's to the point you're making.
I did. I mean, I watched the game. I can't say that I've, growing up the fan of the baseball team that I grew up liking. I'll keep that to who I like or to myself. I can't say that I've watched a baseball game in a long time in the sense of, just sat there and watched a baseball game because that team that I liked, all right, they've had many successful postseason attempts, so it's fun. I'm glad to say now I'm a Phillies fan, and yeah, that Saturday night game was fun. That was fun. I mean, I didn't watch any college football that night. That's what I watched, the Phillies game. A lot of fun to watch. That's a fun team. I just look at that team and I think about the way they.
I like use the word fun, and I love how he alluded around the team. I mean, it's pretty obvious who it is.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, it's the team Pat was wearing colors for all year.
Yes, Pat's favorite team.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, he's from New York. He said they didn't have a lot of postseasons because if he didn't say they didn't have a lot of postseason victories, you could have maybe thought he was a Yankees fan, but obviously,
you know what? I'm going to leave this one here. It's pretty funny when someone works for a Cowboys network. Just saying. But anyway, just
Yeah, that's right. I do. Yeah,
Just
a
saying, you know what I
Cowboys
mean?
network. I have my own show, and it's Phillies 4 for 4.
You know what I mean? But anyway, listen, back to the Flyers game. They again, like what Mike's saying, these guys, I love what they're doing too. I mean, they're actually scoring on power plays. They're creating offensive zone plays. They're,
They're playing defense.
they're playing defense. You look at TK when they asked him to step up and be, pretty much fill in for Sean Couturier, being a leader and all this other stuff. The dude's doing it. I mean, the other night he's creating plays. He's creating, he's looking at guys up. He's finding the open guys. That's what they're doing. They're taking the 2-on-1 defensive plays and they're finding that open guy that's just all alone from that net, and boom, they're making you pay. They're getting rebounding, redirecting goals. I mean, I love what I seen. Again, yesterday was Owen Tippett's night. Putting up goals, running down to make sure that Carter can get some help. Again, it's nice. And again, a lot of people are, and I talked to Matty B. Matty B is not completely sold on Carter Hart. And I get it, a lot of people are not, but the kids actually, like Mike said it last week, once you put a front defense in front of him, he's a different cat. And that's what makes a good goalie.
Listen, my thing about the Carter Hart thing is I kind of get not being sold on him a little bit. But I don't understand why it would be a hard sell. I guess is a good way of putting it. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I haven't watched as much Flyers hockey as I normally have. I did start watching last night, peeked in a little bit in between and all that stuff. But from what I've watched so far, I mean, he's had some pretty big saves where the defense fell apart in front of him already, and he's kept that in front of him. So, is he a lockdown goalie where no matter what's in front of him, he's like a brick wall? No, he's not.
No.
But that doesn't happen that much in the NHL this day and age anymore.
No,
Because things are faster and guys are, it's more of a finesse sport than it used to be a bruiser sport. So I don't think Carter Hart is the problem ever here. And not saying ever, but I don't think he's the problem here. I mean, listen, the fact that he struggled at all over the last few years, you would expect. Everybody struggled. This team is just not a team. The word team is used loosely in that.
You had guys like this man over here, thought that he was going to come in with a Superman cape on and not grow. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, he's only what, 25?
Not even. He's like 23.
Is he 23? Okay.
Yeah, he's a young kid. Like, he was starting at 20. He was 20 years old playing for the Flyers. Like, come on now. Like, but like my partner over here thought he was going to come in with a Superman cape on and that he was going to fix all of our problems because
I don't even know. I don't even know if he thought it was going to be Superman cape. I think it was this team.
I heard some of the things.
Well, I'm just saying this team was so bad, and he was the one few bright spots we had. I think that was more of false hope.
Yeah,
putting a lot of eggs in one basket type situation.
So I like what they're doing with him now. I think I like the fact that they built up the defense around him. They're giving some of these young defensemen that were stored up in Allentown. They're giving them a chance to play. And you know what? As much as we killed Chuck Fletcher, like we kind of got to give him a little bit of credit here because he's actually letting these young guys play.
Is that Chuck or is that Torts?
I think it's a mixture of both. I mean,
is it like did Torts go, listen, if you're not going to get me anybody, you're not going to get me a Johnny Hockey, you're not going to get me any big time stars outside of what? D'Anthony? I mean, Anthony. D'Angelo. It's the other guy. Sixers. Same stadium, different team. Like he goes, we got to get these young guys going. Got to A, see what we have, and B, got to give me something to work with.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that he said that in the interview process. If you look at it, you know what I mean. He was probably like, "Look, dude, you need to do something."
That's what I'm saying. Like I said yesterday, they just fell short in overtime against the former Shark himself, Brett Burns. So, like I said, they were playing a tight game with those guys, going back and forth. And like I said, with guys with very, very little tape on these guys, they played a decent game.
You know what the test is going to be, though, right? Like the best team right now in the NHL is Boston. Boston's playing. They're smoking hot, dude. They're like 8-1. That's
Well,
going to be a measuring stick for the Flyers. man.
yeah, so Mike, they're going up to the Garden Tuesday night to take on the Rangers, and a team that's not that playing that well. They're not that
Yeah,
far
they just
behind
lost
us.
again yesterday too, didn't they?
No, they actually won 6-0
Oh,
up there.
No,
Yeah, no, they're on the road. They're on the road against Tech in Dallas. They just won. They're out. They got.
Did they beat Dallas yesterday?
They
'Cause
beat Dallas. They got to play the Coyotes tonight, 8 p.m. Again, Mika, they got that kid Mika. I don't
Zanajek.
Zanajek. Yeah, he's actually their big time goal scorer, which he was doing. He was making some noise last year in the playoffs. Again, he's got 5 goals on his belt. He's the guy to look out for. Him and the kid from Columbus, Ohio. They swapped out for Mitri. Like I said, hockey names are easy to butcher, and I'm good for that. So again, and they got the kid Vince Torchek from Florida Panthers. He's actually one of their top goal scorer too. So you got, like I said, those are the 3 guys to look out for. But Mike, let me ask you, what in this rivalry between the Flyers and the Rangers, what stands out to you the most?
They just the short. I don't know. Like they take turns beating up on each other.
Yeah.
It's very rare that they're both good at the same time, and it's very, it's very rare that they're both good at the same time and bad at the same time.
Right.
It's usually one's on their way up when the other one's on their way down. So I mean, it's just it's Philly, New York, man. Like we don't they don't like us, we don't like them.
No, I mean, I went on YouTube and last night, so I took a look at the rivalry, where it all broke from, and like I said, it goes back to the 70s. I remember one of the managers, said, "Ha, look, they got Lindros, but we got what's his name, who won them the cup back in '94,
Messier.
They say we got Messier, they got Lindros, and who won the cup, who didn't." So again, they're snarky about it. I like when they go, when the Rangers used to play down at the Spectrum, they said, "Listen, man, I have heard things. They talked about my mom. I didn't know nothing about my mom." They said it's a very nasty place to play. The fans are ugly. They're nasty. It's Broad Street versus Broadway. I love the intensity of the 2 teams. So again, and call TK on lazy defense. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's been lazy on defense, but again, that I don't know. You got Tony D'Angelo there. You got Progolov there. They're okay. Flyers got caught up with the tire players who launched some shit. Yeah, I agree with that.
That happens though. That happens, Steve. Like that's going to happen. I mean, it's going to happen against you. It'll happen for you too. So that kind of averages out. Sometimes you just catch somebody off.
Yeah.
I look at it like this. Like I said, Carolina's one of the better teams in our conference. Them, the Penguins, the Bruins.
They're sitting right underneath us.
And they're right there. I mean, I just want the Flyers to be competitive this year. I mean, you're basically look how much money, dude, they're going to have coming off of their books next year. Like the Flyers can they can become stupid money next. You know what I mean? As far as like going out there, I know you want a Johnny Hockey here, but like I said,
no, and look, you've been right, I've been wrong. I
just don't think he fit what the organization's direction they're going. Like
yeah,
I said,
I mean, look, I wrote up a whole article about it. That was my first article. The Golden Goose is out of their hands. I wrote up an article. I pretty much said everything I could. Where's this direction? And then when they brought Johnny Tortorella in, I'm like, oh my god. I'm like,
well, I mean, me and you both, man. But
you and a lot of other people. I mean, listen, I wasn't like off the Torch thing. My problem with the Torch situation is we had a John Tortorella type coach in AV.
Yes.
And Alain Vigneault, and a guy who who held people accountable, threw people under the bus that needed to be thrown under the bus, called them out publicly, but it didn't work for him. So that was really where my thing was. Was it not just John Tortorella, but is John Tortorella's shtick not 2022 professional hockey?
Right.
Is it going to work there? And I'm wondering if we were all wrong in the fact that maybe John Tortorella isn't what we used to see in the late 90s, early 2000s.
I think he's evolved with that. Like, I think he's evolved.
I still think he's aggressive. I just don't think. I think it's a different type of aggression. Like, I'm holding you accountable, and like kind of like that. Then like more like that stern father goes, "I'm not mad. I'm just sad, and you let me down."
Yeah,
well,
and like you're like, "Oh, I let Dad down." Oh no,
I think he's matured as a as a head coach. And look, there's not too many teams that are coming knocking on his door to come coach anymore. And he's kind of like Mike said, he kind of evolved like, okay, like, and one thing I gotta give Mike, John Torello, at least he's honest with people. Goes like he goes, hey, listen, I think we're gonna get spanked, or at least he'll say, I think today's the word of the day, spanked. But I think like he's honest.
Torello had me dying.
Yeah.
Was it the game last Sunday when they played San Jose and they lost 3-1?
Yeah.
He was like, he's like, well, how do you think? He was like, well, we sucked in this one.
Yeah, he's honest. He goes, look, we're coming off a back-to-back. We're coming in at 1 o'clock in the morning, but guess what? That's no excuse. You're a professional. For your professional hockey team, you need to start playing with like professional players. He holds people accountable. Like I said, that's why I like the guy. He goes, listen, I might not be here by the time this team really gets off off the ground, but I'm going to change the culture of this whole Broad Street bully. And I'm paraphrasing this whole. I need a captain. I'm changing all that. I'm going to make a difference in this locker room.
And I like that's the other thing that made me feel he was a little different than he used to be. I think the old Torts would have like a battle to the death for the C. Like you want that C on your sweater, you guys are going to sit here and who cuts each other's head off with a skate first wins, type mentality. And I think he just said, I don't care about that.
I agree with Steve right here. Comcast.
Well, I think a lot of people agree with that.
Yeah.
I think, listen, I won't disagree with it, but I don't think that's the main problem. Well, the main problem is if it's not so much if they sell because we don't know who you're going to get in next. Comcast could be just another company or a hedge fund or somebody with a group of people with a lot of money who want to own a professional team and don't care about the team. There's a difference. Like, is it a hockey family? The people who wants to, anybody can come in here like, oh yeah, I bought a team, but I want to be, we want to be successful. And we want to win a cup. We want to bring a cup back. Like, let me tell you right now. I'll tell you if anybody, I don't care who it is, buys it. Here's what your presser looks like. Hey, we brought the Flyers because we want to get back to that old school mentality where we fight on Broad Street, we do what we have to do, and we bring a cup back to this city where it belongs. And they're gonna all say that. Nobody's gonna ever come in here and go, well, I bought this team as an investment. Hopefully it pans out. By the way, there's no dollar hot dog nights. Here you go. Like, they're not gonna say that, but that's like, as business people, they just don't care. Now Comcast is more local, so maybe they would care a little bit more. I mean, they've sunk money into it. They've done it wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not defending them in any which way. But just because you sell the team doesn't mean the next guy in isn't just another investment guy.
Right.
I mean, a lot of people said the same thing about the Sixers. These are guys who just make investments, but at the same time, they've made moves. So, but they hired somebody to do that for them, and Sam Hinkie originally. So my thing is it's not just Comcast, and I get it.
Yeah.
Comcast isn't my best friend any which way. I don't even have Comcast. I got rid of Comcast. I couldn't stand them. By the way, if Comcast is listening, you can sponsor us if you want. No, but my point is, you got to be careful. Like, if you ask, get what you wish for type situation. I just want to see somebody who actually cares. We all kind of rode Middleton a little bit about he's a guy from Philly, bought the team. He didn't at first seem like he cared, but I think he was just getting bad information and going down the wrong rabbit hole.
Well,
and
remember
to your point though, Wal, like when I heard this press conference back in, I want to say April, March, when they pretty much said that they're out of it and they're going to turn things around within the next 2 years and stuff, and all of we're only 3 pieces away. I was getting angry, like, and you guys did a great job covering that. I was just getting so mad and fed up. I said, I'm tired of hearing this. We're going to be into it. You'll lie through your teeth in this press conference. You and Chuck Fletcher just, you think you could pull this over again and again. You think we're a bunch of dumb sheep, and that's all it was. And look, fast forward time, things have turned different. Now, November is usually the time where they take this roller coaster and they just go down, and it's a struggle to get it back up. This is where their real test is going to be because, like I said, in November is just, they just play bad hockey. But yeah, Mike.
I was just kind of piggyback off of what Al was saying with the ownership group. You definitely do got to be careful what you wish for because, I was old enough to remember Leonard Toews.
Toews,
like that was my introduction to sports is watching
Gambled
Leonard.
the team away for the most
Yes,
part.
I remember literally being a young kid. I remember seeing a report on the news that the Eagles might be moving to Phoenix.
Oh yeah, they were
And
the
I was like-
Cardinals.
They were going to be known as the Phoenix Eagles.
Yeah.
And I remember my older brother looking at me going, dude, he goes, the team may move. He said, but the name will stay here. He said, we'll get another football team. And he's like, this dude can take it. And I just remember, I'm like, why would he move from here? You know, and he was an okay owner from what I understand. He just had a drinking and gambling problem.
Oh yeah, that was the
But
thing.
then-
Anybody who said they worked for him, he was the nicest guy in the world.
They'd give you the shirt off his back.
But he was also a liar because he didn't tell you how much money he didn't have. I don't know if did you guys watch any of the I think it was called Game Time on HBO Max about the Lakers with John C. Reilly. And listen, a lot of that was Hollywooded up to make it sound funny. Like it wasn't 100% historically correct, but you know, it kind of followed that. Here's a guy who went and bought the team who didn't have the funds for the team,
Yeah.
and sunk all this money and didn't have the funds for it. But they, look what he did.
Dude, I can tell you another Eagle owner, Norman Brayman.
Mhm.
God, how bad did we all hate? I hated that dude. Like he was the reason that Reggie White Keith Jackson. You know, something those late '80s, early '90s Eagles teams would have been great if this dude would have ponied up and paid them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He was such a cheap owner, and he looked at the Eagles as he was a used car salesman. So that's what he looked at the Eagles like. Like we couldn't wait for this dude to sell the team. When he sold the team to Lurie in '94, everybody was praised. Everybody loved Jeff Lurie.
Right.
Yeah.
So I want to talk a little bird because we're talking birds. I do want to give the mention though that the Sixers do turn things around.
How about that last night?
yeah.
Right? They how about
bounce
the
back?
bounce back? They beat the Bulls, and the Bulls were on fire, dude. The Bulls won like 6 straight. So I mean, for them to go into Chicago and win, that says a lot, man. Maxey's been playing good.
Maxey dropped 44 Friday night. Then you had so maybe they were off to a bad start, and now they got things dealt because you saw it though last night. Embiid, I mean, especially in that first half, Embiid was taking 2 to 3 double teams, and he was finding Maxey on the perimeter. The bench coming up big. Anthony Milton came up big. He dropped a couple points, but George Niang getting a season high 15 points.
Yeah, he had a hell of a game yesterday.
Yeah, on the perimeter.
I'll be honest, I did not watch much of it. I went back and watched the replay, and
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, like I said, I pretty much try and step and watch.
I forgot they were on. I did the same thing you did. I just caught the because you had the Phillies, the Flyers. I was going back and forth between them and college football.
Yeah, I love this. So you had.
I ain't got enough TVs in the house.
Yeah, right.
So you had six players in double digits. You had George Niang, you had Milton, you had Maxey, you had Harden, you had Embiid with 25, you had Tobias with 13, and the only person really from the Bulls that came up huge was the former Sixer himself, Nick Vukovic. So he was had 23. You had DeRozan with put some points in, and you had Zach LaVine. So
DeMar DeRozan.
I like Zach LaVine. I wanted Zach LaVine.
So do I.
Yeah.
I like LaVine too, but DeMar DeRozan too. Ugh. He's kind of fallen from grace too, right?
yeah. So
I wonder if the Bulls, kind of like the Sixers, came out smelling themselves a little bit, expecting to be this hot team, and because of the
Dude,
moves
they were
made.
smoking, man. They were beating everybody.
Mhm.
They were beating
Yeah.
everybody.
So they had, I guess, like I said, the bench players stepped up. They look good. I know they got the Wizards tomorrow night at 7:00. Beal, that's pretty much the only guy, and Kuzma and Porzingis. That's the only thing they get scary with, but I'm not worried about them. But today, it's the Battle of Pennsylvania. It is the Battle of Pennsylvania. Usually we're talking Flyers and Penguins when we talk about this, but no, we're talking about a Steelers team that's coming here looking horrible. They're going to be coming into South Philly, and I believe the last time that they were here, one Carson Wentz ripped them apart. But anyway, he dropped like a 50 burger on them. But anyway, listen, we got Birds, Steelers. Mike, I'm going to let you take the floor on this. What are you feeling today?
I'm looking at Birds big. I'm looking like,
Oh, I like a big. Sorry.
boy, you must be hell during Thanksgiving.
Oh,
Man, you see a big turkey right away. That's the biggest bird you got. Poor Mo. I'm so sorry for you, Mo. Anyway,
Listen, Listen, it's like going to a restaurant over and over again. If the food sucks, but you keep going back, whose fault is it?
Yes.
I don't feel bad for her anymore.
No.
Anyway,
Just kidding, Mel. I don't even know her like that.
I do. I know what she's got to put up with.
That's my thing. Is I just feel bad for her, you know.
Yeah. But no, as far as this game goes, the Eagles should blow them out. I mean, the Eagles are coming off.
And I think that's also why that you're not hearing a lot of Eagles chatter
No,
as much
you're not.
because it's just they're coming off a bye. They're going after the 2-5 Steelers. Who, listen, yes, the one thing is Watt. It could be back, but what kind of condition is Watt in?
What's he gonna
It's
be
not
in?
going to. He can't play all over. It's like Micah Parsons. Like he can't play all over the field, you know. And they learned to shut him. They shut him down pretty quickly. So, quickish. So, I mean, yes, I agree. I believe.
Do you guys?
I'm saying they're scoring into the 30s.
So do I.
And I don't think the Steelers get into the 20s. So, you know,
I got
34-17 type situation.
I think I said initially 27-17, but I kind of looked at that because they got some people that are out. Like, you know, they're starting their field goal kicker's not playing.
Oh, really?
Boswell's out. So to me, I'm looking more like, you know, like 34-35 to like 10-13 tops.
I'll say like just 17 out of you know, maybe not 17. It depends, but 14 to 17 range just because they let up some junk.
And Kenny Pickett's been throwing interceptions left.
That's
and right.
my thing is I believe Ian, who's been chiming in here, has had the over under. Oh, here he is. He actually put it up here. 45-10 with 10 plus sacks.
Dude, that could
10
be.
plus minus. It could be. I would want to know what the FanDuel or something has it at right now.
11.
What the sacks? No, I'm saying over under sacks.
Oh, I didn't see that. But
yeah,
I watched Matty B show Tuesday night. He had that guy on from Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
who
Steelers country.
Steelers country. Yeah,
yeah.
And he said it. He said if the Eagles don't get to him at least 7 times, he said their offensive line is just garbage.
Yeah.
So.
And you brought up a good point because I was, watching Matty B too on Tuesday, and it's weird, like you said. This is
that was through his window, not online like everybody else does.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because he brought up the same thing. He's like, is Mike Tomlin on the hot seat out there?
No.
And
that's one thing Pittsburgh they don't.
This would be his first
losing season
ever. So
what's he got, like 10 years?
And anybody, like Steelers don't go through coaches like most teams do.
Yeah,
They've had 4 in their history.
Yeah, so
what they tell you,
and this guy has his first losing season ever, and you just throw him away? No, I don't think
they're not going to,
because Mike Tomlin goes somewhere else.
Yeah,
they're gonna be sorry.
There'll be a line waiting for him.
Yeah,
if he were to go somewhere
he's a young guy too. I mean, he's not an old guy in any which way.
I got a question for you though. Out of the games this weekend, actually, right now, there's a game going on right now over in Germany right now. But guys,
is it Germany or
England?
Germany.
It's England, isn't it?
Isn't it London?
It's London.
No, yeah.
So so maybe next week's the Munich game. Then.
I think this is the last London game.
Oh yeah, you're right. Today's the last. They do have one in Munich, so I think that's next week.
Mm-hmm.
But is there another game besides the Birds that you kind of have not rooting interest,
but
Saints
game?
Are you going to keep a look at and go, like, what's your upset other than the Eagles? Like, do you have an upset of the week?
Oh, my upset of the week. And right now, just to give you a heads up, the Jags are up 7-0 on the Broncos.
I don't know. I mean, because I really didn't go over the whole slate. I mean,
I can bring
here.
I'll go through the games and we can do a little quick pick'ems before we head out.
How about that? You
That's fine. You got, I know you got.
It's just pick'ems. We're not going to go
points
or anything like
winner
that.
Or loser.
All right, so I'll give you this much. Who did you pick for the Jags Broncos?
I took the Jags.
Okay,
Jags.
Yeah, I think a lot of people because that's kind of like their home state.
Yeah, they're a hot mess.
Dolphins versus Lions.
I'm going Detroit.
I'll go Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Dolphins too. I just can't. I used to sit there and think Detroit was going to do something. Really, to be honest with you, I'm like, okay, this team might not be as bad as we're used to, but they are. So I'm gonna go with the Dolphins on this one, and I think Tua is back, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Panthers versus Falcons. Try to keep your eyes awake for that one.
Falcons.
There's a team who wants to lose so bad, yet they're not as much as they should.
If they win that game, they're in first place.
I'm gonna go Falcons too. I'm gonna go Falcons too. Cardinals versus Vikings.
It's 1:00. It's in Minnesota, so I'm gonna go with Minnesota in that one.
Minnesota.
Yeah, I want Minnesota in that one as well. Bears versus Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, unless the Bears just.
You know what?
You smell a little trap? Are you smelling a trap?
Yeah, Dak didn't impress me last week, man. I'll tell you what.
Are you taking the
I'm going to go with the Bears.
outright?
I'm going to go with the Bears in
All
an
right.
upset.
Bears.
Dude, I'll be calling you, Mike, right away. Like, yeah, you crazy motherfucker.
Listen, you have a feel about this. Like, stop and think about it for a second.
Wait, there's too much good things going on in this town. I don't think I'm not going to get that lucky. Because I said, it's the only time the Eagles are 6-0, and there's not a lot of buffer room between. And, that goes down, and the Cowboys and the Giants somehow found themselves for, at least at this point.
I'm going to go with the Bears.
Right.
Just,
all
I
right.
just got a feeling.
Okay, that's fine. Raiders, Saints. I'm going Raiders, even though they're a bad team. I think the Saints are a worse team, and I need that loss. That's a game. That's the game I need. I need to watch. Or pay attention to. The Steelers, Eagles already passed over. Pats, Jets in New York or New Jersey, technically.
Who you got now?
Pats and Jets. I'll go Jets.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take the fighting JETSSS.
Mm-hmm.
Jets.
Well, you said Cowboys 27-13 last week. Well, that was last week.
I did.
Well, yeah, they were also playing.
Caught you.
Caught him what? It was Detroit Lions. What is that a card? I mean,
no. I think I said 27-13 for the Cowboys.
Oh, for the Cowboys.
Yeah, I just
no. What I'm saying, last week against the Lions, or for the Bears this week.
I'm thinking he's meant for the Cowboys and Bears.
Yeah, I think he means Cowboys Bears.
But why would you take last week for the Cowboys?
I mean, earlier this week.
Okay.
I just haven't changed the feeling, man.
All right, listen, that's what it is.
I don't know. I mean, it's an Eagle fan.
Paul say no about this week. Listen, maybe it is the Eagle fan in you. Maybe.
I'm being different too. I mean, you guys both took the Cowboys. I'm just,
No, I get it. But yeah, sometimes you have a feeling like you could be an upset game somewhere. The Bears have won a couple games that
they just smoked New England in New England.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not here to say they're going to smoke Dallas, but I think they can hang with them a little bit.
Quez Watkins finally has a breakout, 5 receptions, 145 yards with a TD.
He should.
I don't think he was saying 145-yard TD. That would be impossible. But let's go back to the game. So somebody wants to call me in the middle of a show. That's awesome.
Well, hello.
Let's see. Titans, Texans. That might be like one of the most interesting matchups, not because of
it's a division game.
Yeah, division game.
I know.
I'm going to go Titans.
I'm going to go. I'll go Texans. They're at home.
Yeah, it's like when you have
Tennessee don't play well on the road.
My boy Rock Hoffman used to say, when you have two bad teams, just go with the home team. You don't think a bad team on the road.
Damian Pierce is running the hell out of the ball too.
I'm going to go Texans in this one as well. Let them have a win this day, and then they come back here on Thursday on the short week, and we can bring them back down to reality. What do you got? Texans or Titans?
No, I said Titans. I said I'm going to take Titans.
Giants, Seahawks. I'm going Seahawks, not because they're playing well. It's in Seattle. I'm going to go Seahawks in this one. They're just playing a decent brand of football. So is the Giants, but I just think because of the traveling, that might be a good game to watch.
That's a 4 o'clock game, right?
That is 4:25.
Yeah.
I'm going Giants.
You're going to go Giants? There you go.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Well, he likes his Mets. He likes his Giants. Here we go.
Call me the
here's a game to watch. 4:25 game. Commanders, Colts. That's right. The Battle Hawk versus the guy who never started an NFL game yet.
And that's in Indy, right?
That is in Indy. I'm actually going to go Commanders in this one.
I'm going to go Indy.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the fighting Tyler Heineke's.
Yep. Battle Hawks all the way, baby.
Yeah.
Niners, Rams. I guess that's going to be the better matchup of the week.
I'm going to go Niners. Niners own them.
Niners,
yeah. They tend, and
they own the Rams. I don't know what it is, but they
definitely own some headspace in there. That's for sure.
I know.
Two more you got here. 1 second. Packers, Bills.
Oh, Buffalo.
This is the game that Green Bay needs, according to Aaron Rodgers. But then again, this is a game that they come up and step up and somehow, drop the Bills. It's a trap game for them. But
if it was in Green Bay, I would agree with you. But that's in Orchard Park, dude. No.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm going to go Bills all the way on this one.
I'm going. That's my trap game. I'm going to go Green Bay.
Okay.
Wow.
And tomorrow night's barn burner is
Battle of Ohio.
Battle for Ohio.
Yes.
Bengals versus Browns in Cleveland.
Joe Burrow, baby.
Yeah. I don't know. They ain't got Jamar Chase.
Yeah, Jamar Chase is out.
He's out. So,
but I think Cleveland's that bad. I'm going to go with the Bengals.
Yeah.
It's going to be a close game. It's not going to be a game that anybody's going to watch, especially in the Philly.
No,
in
not
this town.
necessarily. But
I don't even know if you won't even put any shillings on this game.
I'll join you guys and take the Bungles.
The Bungles.
Oh, I like a nice bunghole.
No, Bungles.
Oh,
Jesus, Mary and Ralph. I'm glad I went.
Paul saying upset of the week is Texans outright.
Yeah, we agreed on that one.
Today, NFC East, Eagles 33-16, Cowboys 32-13, Giants lose to Seattle 27-23, and Skins win versus Colts. So pretty much close to what we all had.
Yeah, I just went with the Bears to be different.
Yeah, and that's fine. And like I said, when did he ask you? Wednesday? I mean, if you asked me on Wednesday, I might have changed my mood to tune too. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think
Wednesday, I knew that's his normal game show times.
Yeah, so at that time I was kind of looking at it, but like I said, they played kind of good. Like I said, so
yeah. And by the way, you can check Paul in the outbox Tuesday nights at 10 and Wednesdays at 8:30 or 9:30. 9:30. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's got 10.
Yeah, I was at 8:30. He's at 9:30 talking. We know boys with me and my man Matt
Klein.
Klein.
And Davey Arnold. Davey Arnold's on.
Oh yeah, Davey Arnold's there too.
Oh, you mean Negative Nancy?
Oh,
yeah. Oh, listen, man, I got to give it to them, man. On that show, man, they do keep it real about their boys, man. If their boys suck, they come out and say that their boys stink.
Well, not so much. Dave, he's a homer. Oh my gosh, I love when they get into it with him. He's like a punching bag.
Dude,
I'm kidding.
It's like it's
interesting.
With Dave I love Dave, but Dave is the kind. I mean,
he's from the other side of the spectrum.
Yeah, and they said it yesterday. During Patterson Avenue Fanatics, man.
Wait, like Comcast Spectacle, or like is that the Spectrum? Like, is that what you're talking about? Yeah, I mean, Dave to me is just funny. Like, he's the kind of guy who goes, "Yeah, you can drive to the store, but you might get hit by a train."
He's nervous to go outside.
Yeah, you can win the lottery, but you'll be dead tomorrow. Like I'm like, listen, man. I said to him, I'm like, listen, Dave. I love Dave, by the way.
Dave's a great dude.
I love him. My point is like. But Dave can like deflate a room pretty quickly. Like, he was on the fighting final for the game one, and we were all high about it, which as we should have been. And just saying, like, listen, this is exactly what we want. Now we put ourselves in a position to maybe take two from Houston in Houston. And he goes, guys, remember the Lakers Sixers in 2001, and they won game one. Remember how that turned out? I'm like, you picked the one time we win game one and then get our asses swept after that. As you're like, I can say, look, in 2008, we won the first game and lost the second one, and then went on to sweep them at home. It could be. I'm like, Dave, I don't understand. I said, you went Marks. He's your guy. You break his stones on Patterson Avenue.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah, they were ripping him yesterday. But I love Dave. But I mean, in a way though, he kind of keeps it grounded a little bit too.
He does.
He doesn't get too high, even with his own team. Sometimes he does look at it with blind loyalty. But I mean, I think we've all done that. So I mean, that's why I can look at Dave and go, yeah.
The answer is yes. Debo is out, I believe, this week. Hold on, I'll tell you right. I just saw
yeah, he's out. He's not playing.
Damn, I gotta change on my fantasy lineup. Look, man, it's a good time tonight. Like I said,
don't forget to Union.
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, we have the undefeated Birds. They should be able to. This should be a day at the beach for them. No problems asked. I mean, Mike Thomas pretty much alluded to that. He expected that Jalen Hurts is going to have a field day. It's going to be interesting what they do. It's so crazy, and we have all said this. Usually in this town, we got the Birds at number one, and we're so comfortable with them. Mm-hmm. This is like that Boston feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like this is our expectations.
Are you saying Philly's becoming title town or something? Is that
I don't think it's a ton. I mean, you got this is what.
No, but I mean, we are poised. Don't tell me we're not poised to do so. I mean, we're literally in the World Series. We a better chance than 28 other teams in the MLB to be in a title. We already are National League champions, so we have one more chance to win the full title. The Sixers are a good chance by the end of today are 7-0, and by the end of
Sixers.
I'm sorry,
the Eagles.
Eagles
are. It's like, wait a minute.
Sorry, the Eagles are 7-0 by the end of today, and maybe 8-0 by next Friday. So that's huge, and that puts us in a good position to do so. And the Sixers, rough start, but still plenty of time to right the ship and put a decent run on.
And the ties turn around a little bit.
Yeah, and we also mentioned the Union are in their semis today and have a good chance of going to the MLS Cup. So I'm not going to sit there and pound her. Oh, and by the way, the wings are set up to have
Yes,
a very
I
good.
was
Yeah,
just getting ready to bring them up.
The wings are set to have, at least on paper, have a good.
And those guys just wrote Gary, I don't know which one did it, but they just wrote up and I'm going to take a look at it. They just wrote up a nice article about the wings.
I think it was Muffler Mike who did that one.
Yeah, it's I'm gonna get. Like I said, it's a 6-for-6 town anymore, and it feels good. And it feels good. I cannot wait. Like I said, usually in October we get pumped up because all the sport teams are going, but it feels even better when the teams are winning. It feels that much. Now let me ask you guys a question, and this is a little bit off the beaten path. Are you
you? No.
Yeah, well, I like.
Usually beating something else.
Yes, and trust me, the roughs is a problem. But anyway, I'm not even gonna go there. These are usually a real. But anyway, will you guys be checking into the Union game at all?
I'm actually
knowing that
I will be honest with you. I do not normally. Not that I don't care about soccer. I just never got into it in my life.
Me neither.
But I'm going to be checking the score, and I wouldn't say maybe I'll flip over depending on what's going on.
Same here.
But I will be checking the score, and I won't be like, I'm not going to be the guy going, let's go down Broad Street when they win. No, but I'm going to be like, this is awesome. And I kind of said that the funny thing is they could both, the Phillies win the World Series at the same time as the Wings. The Union win their championship. I said, well, do we have two parades? Or
no, the Phillies will get the main parade, and probably the Union will probably get a big party thrown in the
Target parking lot.
No, in their own parking lot in Chester. So
Chester. I mean,
I don't know if they'll do it there. They'll do it somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I try to open this up to people, and like I said, I'm not going to tell you who you should or shouldn't root for, but I think it's for the guys who can't take it, outside. I guess that, and I don't want to say the 700 level area, I think you can accept teams like the Wings. I know we can, the Wings and the Union into that bracket of, hey, check them out, especially in these circumstances.
We did at one point with the Soul. I mean, I'm not sitting there saying everybody was going crazy, but I remember going down when they won their championship. That's right before they imploded the vet.
Right.
They had a championship, and we went, or right after. I forget what it was. I think it was right after. I'm sorry. And we went down and I hung out. I watched. I didn't care. It was just a good time to party up with everybody. And it was like,
yeah,
dude, I got to become friends with some of the players on that team, dude. Like my nephew had season tickets in the end zone, so we would go to games all the time, and we'd be down there just,
St. Joe's Preps. St. Joe Prep got a bigger parade than the Union will have. As an O'Hara guy, no.
Listen, yeah, man.
Ask them how they did in 2002, baby. Woo!
But
champion here, champion in the house.
2002.
I know that's what I'm saying.
God.
So I mean, like I said, it's a good time. A good problem to have. We're having all these teams, playing very, very well. I can't wait. So look, guys, we're about to wrap it up. But in doing so, let's take a look at these.
God.
Yeah, let's take a look at some of these sponsors.
You should have wrapped it up.
Well, hello.
Yeah.
I should have been wrapped up. But anyway.
I could have said something else.
Damn that Chuck Bernard. Sorry, Al.
Prep 5-7 last state champs. I understand that, but not when I was on the field. That's all I got to say to that.
Woo!
Not when I was on the field, baby.
I was poor. I went to Frankfurt.
I went to stinking Lincoln, but
we could tell.
Yeah. Hello.
Sound like a Bonner guy over here more than anything.
Yeah. So, guys, again, go check out phillysportstrips.com, man. It's a good time. So, guys, if you haven't tried out one of the trips, go on there. Tell them Edge of Philly Sports Trips sent you. Like I said, look at all these great.
Edge of Philly Sports sent you. Yes.
Yeah, just tell them we sent you because look, man, we do a great job promoting their stuff. And look, man, it's a good time to have. Again, go on their trip. Like I said, talk to Mike, talk to Al. They'll vouch for you. It's not me just reading this ad. They will tell you it is a party like no other. And guys, if you want to be in there in a sea of green and checking all these road trips and go and check out all the things, what better way with going your brothers in hand? So, guys, food, drinks, entertainment, it's all there for you.
Yeah, and it's not just the Eagles either.
The problem is Pat always has his brothers in hand. That's the role. Which hand and which
which hands and which brothers.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is. And of course, if you can't do the road trips, you can always go to Dolan's Bar, 24 East Sellers Avenue in Ridley Park. I was there last night. Lenny Dykstra was there last night. There was Lenny being Lenny.
Nails being nails, right?
Nails being nails. It was a good time. I finally got to meet the owner of Dolan's PJ. Great dude, man. We had fun, man. My wife had a really good time last night. She's probably still recovering.
It's just
a
not
bit.
your typical corner bar, and it has the feel and the comfort of it, but it's bigger than that. That's why we call it the Big D. Calm down.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is.
And work compensation, man. Look, guys, hit up my man David Archerry for work compensation, medical vehicle accidents, personal injury, criminal law. Hit this man up today, 610-565-0300. Good dude, man. Go give him a jingle today.
www.cherryinjurylaw.com. See, Al was quick there on that.
Yeah, so guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Go Birds, go Union. And tomorrow, I know a lot of people are taking their kids trick-or-treating, but I guarantee you
take them early. Take them early.
Oh, I'm going like 5:30 at the latest.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm 5 o'clock.
Dude, I'm already putting the
I got my costume ready. I'm ready to rock.
I thought you were wearing it.
Oh, hello. No, that's
Yeah. He's
that's
pretending to be a
midnight.
Philly fan.
Yeah, yes, after midnight.
Have a good one, everybody. We'll see you next week.